Anyway, the candidates all worry about image, how they look, perceptions, etc. And we have with us this morning is Dr. Shelly Friedman, who's a cosmetic surgeon.
Cosmetic dermatologist.
Cosmetic dermatologist from the Scottsdale Institute of Cosmetic Dermatology.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You must be having a ball with all the glitter and glory that goes with the campaign, trying to make candidates look their best while not necessarily accomplishing that.
Well, I think that happens with everybody, even with the person on the street. But with Joe Biden, all of a sudden, they're making a big deal out of him having a hair transplant many years ago. I think it really brought it to the forefront.
We have a picture of him there. Probably a good move for him, though, wasn't it?
Well, in the time that he first had his hair transplant done, it was done with the plugs, and it was very, very noticeable. But as he aged, and he also had the newer techniques with the smaller grafts, and his hair turned gray, there wasn't that much of a contrast. But the first thing that someone notices as somebody is aging is their hair loss. So as soon as you lose your hair, you look so much older. So I think he wanted to reverse that.
And what's amazing is he did those hair plugs years ago. Everybody knew it, but now it's an issue.
It was back in the 60s and 70s.
That was new technology then, wasn't it?
Well, it was the old technology with the plugs, but at that time, he decided that he was noticing that he was losing his hair, and because he was a politician, which is the same thing as an actor, he needed to be out there and present himself in the youngest light.
All right, Sarah Palin making quite a splash. She looks pretty good to most people. What do we have here?
Well, if you look at her, you can see on the left side, she has deep, what we call nasolabial folds, the folds that go from the nose down here.
What do you call those?
Nasolabial folds.
Nice.
Say that 5 times.
I don't know if I can get one out.
But if you look on the right side, that's after, now this is an enhanced photo. If you look at the right, you will see her with filler. So you could fill these lines in so they're not as deep.
And do you like that idea? Well, we'll talk about people making themselves look different. We'll do John McCain here. Obviously, they softened up this picture on the right.
Yes, if you look at on the left, his brow, you could see a lot of lines. You can see jowls. And on the right, you can see the fact that it would look good with Botox. It would look good with fillers, filling all these areas in. I think that's the big difference. But another big thing for John McCain would be a hair transplant. Had he had a hair transplant and not try to comb 10 hairs across the top of his head, I think he would look much younger, even with gray hair.
What if he left that hair but colored it?
Well, the problem is with coloring your hair with a Caucasian, the darker hair, there's more of a contrast. So you see your hair and your scalp more visibly. The gray hair with very, very light skin, it's less. So he actually doesn't look as thin as what it would have been if he had dark hair.
Oh, point well taken. All right, Barack Obama, young, good-looking guy. What could he have?
Well, on the left, you see that's his normal photo, but the first thing you notice when you look at Obama is his ears. His ears are sticking out.
Oh.
And on the right is a photo of what we would do if we did an otoplasty, ear pinning his ears back. So, on the left, you see that's the first thing you look at, really, when you look at him. He's a nice-looking guy. There's really nothing there you really correct except his ears.
That's like the old saying, looks like a cab with all the doors open, right? Now, you've brought in some other pictures. Hopefully, we have those ready to go. I know you were working on them late, talking about men with hair transplants. And that's always a big step for guys, whether it's John McCain running for president or me sitting here with a bald spot. That's still a big step for a guy to take.
It's a very big step. And in fact, using the actors again, how many actors are on TV that are bald or balding? Most men that are on TV or in movies, they have lots of hair. So we have this image of youthfulness, and the image is lots of hair.
All right.
So hair can actually add.
I was going to say,
Here we go.
We just saw the guy with the bald hair. I mean, it's the same guy, right?
It's the same man. And what you can see is he looks at least 10, 15 years younger after a transplant.
And happier.
And these are much happier. And these are the transplants that we do today. This is, when we put in 1 hair, 2 hair, 3 hairs at a time. We're not putting in plugs anymore, and it's totally undetectable so that they can expose the hairline. The nice thing about today is you don't know when a person's had a hair transplant. It doesn't look like the days of Joe Biden when it was plugs. So the best thing is for somebody to say, you know, no one ever even noticed I had it done. And therefore, when you think of hair transplants, you think of the old way, not the new way. And it's a big difference. Like you say, you could see the big difference. But the biggest thing with Joe Biden, again, is not only on this picture, you see the fact that his hair, but you also see the bags under his eyes.
Yeah, he's been softened up too, hasn't he?
Right. And you could see the difference that can be made. But it's because we have this image that we want our people on TV and we want our politicians to look young. And we can correct that. We can fix that.
All right. It's been a pleasure having you in here, Dr. Friedman.
Thank you.
We'll have all the information. If you want to talk to him about hair transplants, and be bold, people. I color my hair. I had some eye surgery some years back. And you know what? I'd do it again.